let me show you how to do an invisible or a ladder stitch. I just sewed this corset and then flipped it right side out. And so we still have this hole here where I flipped it through. And instead of just sewing with my machine where you would see the stitch here, we're going to do a ladder or invisible stitch along there to close it up. So we're gonna hand sew this. So I have a hand sewing needle and a piece of thread, which once I have it threaded on the needle, I'm going to just tie a few knots at the end of the pieces of thread. Now that my needle and thread is ready to go, we're going to put it on the inside of my fabric and pull it out. You can see it's going from the very inside out. We are then pulling, and now the knot is hidden within my hole. So we started on my fabric. Now I'm gonna go directly across that to the lining and just go through the fabric and then back out on the lining side still, like this. Okay, now you can see that it is on the lining side right there, and I'm going to go directly across from that on my fabric side, and again, go through just this little part that is folded over and then back through like this, which we will then pull. And then we go directly back across to the lining side where it had come out and go up the ladder and across the ladder again. And you just keep continuing this the whole way up. Ladder visualization is like this, where the blue is one piece of fabric and the red line is the other piece of fabric. You start with your knot and then you go across the ladder to the other piece of fabric, and then you go up the ladder through this piece of fabric, across the ladder to the other piece of fabric, up the ladder through that same piece of fabric. And you keep going like this the whole way up until it's time to do the other knot. Okay, now that I'm to the end of where my hole was, I have my thread coming out at the end of the hole, and I'm going to pick up just a little bit of fabric and come right back out right next to where the thread is. And then I will loop my needle back through there and pull to create a knot. And I'm gonna do 2 of these just to make sure it is really secure. And so we do have a little bit of a knot there, but you can't really tell since it's the black fabric. And then I'm gonna push my needle right next to the knot into the fabric and have it come out an inch or so away from it. And then I will cut the thread down there and just readjust so that the tail of the thread is within the 2 pieces of fabric.